We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, coming to you live by the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and of course Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I am joined by the one simply known as Steve. Hello brother, how are we doing today?
Yeah, we're good, thanks to yourself, mate.
Yeah, I'm good. Unfortunately, Joe's not able to make it tonight. He might pop in a little bit later, but he's feeling a little bit unwell. So let's just send him. Let's send him our love. As part of the Beefalo Club, we'll send him some love. But anyway, it's great to be with you guys. We've got an amazing show lined up today. Obviously, we're not going with special. We have got no special guests this week. It's just the two of us. And we have got so much to talk about. We have got so much to talk about this week. So much on the news, rumors, and and the impact recap. And then, of course, we've got our preview of Slammiversary. So we're really, really looking forward to this. We're excited. I hope you guys are excited. We've got a load of people in the chat already. I know that Courtney's in there, James is in there, Mir's in there, Violet's in there, Bonkers is in there, Bonus Baby's in there, Hakeem's in the house. Everyone's joined us from the start of the show today, which is absolutely superb. So Donald Hill's in the house. Everyone seems to be turning up for today's show. So really, really excited to have you guys on the show with us. Don't forget, this show works so well because of you guys getting involved in the live chat. We have our opinions, and we know that you guys have yours, and we like to hear them. Like I say, your opinions don't necessarily all match with ours, or we don't all match with you, but that's what makes great conversation. So, Andrew Pollard's in the house. Thanks for joining us today, fella. Really pleased to see you. Oh my God, Aaron Jack's in the house. Goodness me, we've got a load of people in the house today. So, and it's in the UK.
Enjoy.
Well,
Ooh.
enjoy your dinner, my friend. Enjoy your dinner. So great to see you here, joining us today for our Impact Talk. Now, Steve, what have you been up to? What have you been up to this week?
My week is starting to get a paint by numbers week. A week of sort of in the week it's full of studying, and then the weekend is just work. But yeah, studying is getting very full on now. It's one of those where you wish there were 26 hours in a day.
Oh my god! Yeah. And then you need an extra couple more for some sleep.
Yeah. I say you think, well, who needs sleep?
Nobody needs sleep. Anyway, I'm just
Nobody needs sleep.
Just gonna have a little sip of wee. Just 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, lovely.
Yeah.
It's not wee, everybody. I'm not got some sort of new detox, regime going on. It simply is Mimto mixed fruit, and it's bloody lovely. Terrence is in the house. It's lovely, mate. It's mango, orange, pineapple, I think. I don't know, but it's delicious. I really
very
like
refreshing at this time of year.
Very nice. So we've got Terrence has joined us as well, which is fantastic. We're gonna talk about outside the ropes in a second, Terrence. So bear with us. So let's get stuck in because we've got so much to talk about, and I just want to sort of kind of get in with it really. So let's get stuck into the news, rumors, and of course the impact recap that we always do every single week. And I want to start with something which, I think some people have sort of kind of taken it the wrong way, a little bit of a misunderstanding. But Carl Anderson appeared to throw some shade on Impact in New Japan Pro Wrestling promo, or did he? Now, as usual, the people are very quick to jump on the, oh my God, he's dissing Impact. They're clearly not signing, and all that kind of stuff. Just because he mentioned the fact that he only turns it on, bright lights, car, machine gun, or whatever it is. He turns it on for 2, 3, 5,000, but he doesn't turn it on for 200, 300. That's basically butthurt people, right? We know that Impact don't have the biggest crowds at those shows at the moment, but they have more than 200, 300. Majority of the time, you're talking 400, 500 to 1,000. So to say that they're talking about that, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know, but I'm not 100% sure that that's what he was referring to. I think he was just referring to the indie stuff, to be honest with you. That's my thought on the process. And of course, I think after he said it, he probably realised, people are going to jump on that one. But because they did straight away. But then later on in the promo, literally a few seconds later, he mentions Impact in exactly the same light as an AEW, New Japan, everybody else, in terms of anyone could come in, challenge him for his new title.
Yeah. And
that's what I think.
This is a good point as well, which I was going to break. Like, he's playing the heel, and that's the sort of thing that a heel would say. You're not going to go out there as a babyface and say, "Well, I'm wrestling. I only turn it on when I'm wrestling in front of these, hundreds and hundreds of fans." He's playing a heel, and he's getting heel heat.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And guess what? Straight away, people jump all over it and start spreading it around all over the place. Whether it be good or bad, at the end of the day, it's being promoted. People are checking it out, they're seeing it, and again, like we always say, there's no such thing as bad bad promotion. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's getting the name out there. Now, I'm not saying that he's re-signed with Impact Wrestling.
No,
the Good Brothers full stop. I'm not saying that, but I don't think that they would throw shade on Impact.
No,
I don't. I really don't. Because they're friends. We know that he's good friends with Scott D'Amore, both of them. They're good friends with Scott D'Amore, regardless. And I would imagine they're good friends with a lot of the Impact people now. So I'd be very surprised. He's just playing a heel. He's a heel. He's doing what he needs to do. He's generating some heat, and he's going to bring the lights when it comes. He's going to be bright lights, machine gun, this coming Sunday, I can assure you. So I just wanted to get that one out of the way straight away. I don't personally feel he's throwing shade. Do you feel he's throwing shade, Steve? I don't think by the sound of it you do.
No, I don't think so. And like I say, if it, I think it's people's minds now thinking, oh, we can make a story out of this. It's people taking things too far.
I think so. Just taking stuff out of context.
Reading
and
too
like
much into it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But again, plus if Anderson did mean what he said, then that's an indication that the Brothers won't be winning at Slammiversary or re-signing with Impact. Well, possibly it is. Possibly it's not. We don't know. They've lost their fair share of matches and are still signed to the company. So we just have to wait and see. And I've always said the Good Brothers don't need a title. Look at that promo they did last week. We'll get to that in a second, actually. I've got that down on my list. But, the whole chicken farmyard brawl thing, it was superb. It was really good. But anyway, let's move on quickly because there's quite a few things I want to talk about. But I know why couple of people are in the house today. They know I've got a bit of a gripe. So Paige announces she's departing WWE on July the 7th. Could we see her arrive as part of the Impact Knockouts roster? Gail Kim states she is welcome. Now, I find this one really, really interesting, okay, because I don't think Gail would actually say anything with regards to this if they at least hadn't spoken. Yeah, I'm not saying there's a deal on the table.
Oh, no.
Please don't say I'm saying she's come to Impact Wrestling because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Gail Kim as an executive of the company, as a big part of the Knockouts division, I can't imagine her stating that she would like, that she would, love, she'd love Paige to be a part of the Impact Knockouts division if she at least hadn't had a conversation. That's that's me thinking that. I that's how I feel on it. So and again, why would you not want to bring in someone like Paige? The girl has got such a following on things like Twitch and on social medias, and like she has got such a huge following, a massive fan base, right? That and she's British. She is an English wrestler from your hometown, Steve, of Norwich, and I think there's a possibility, mate. I think there's a possibility. And of course, if Paige was to take that jump over there, we know that Mia Yim has obviously taken that jump. We'll talk about that in a second. But I think there's a possibility. I think it's a possibility. It depends what she wants to do and whether she can get cleared. It depends what she wants to do. And why would she not want to be a part of what is classed as probably the best female division in North America today? What do you think, Steve?
And that's the big thing, is like, I think there is a huge opportunity here for both Impact and for Paige, because it is the best, in my opinion, the best division for women to go to, and the Knockouts division is growing stronger and stronger month by month, year by year. So to have Paige come in, it would elevate that. The only thing that you would question is, where would she fit because of her history? Is she going to go into a backstage role, or would she be cleared to be able to go into the ring? That's the question. Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with that. And it is difficult, isn't it? But you're talking about the anti-diva herself, right? She, Saraya, as she would be called now, she hasn't wrestled since 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Mia's just found that out, where she had to retire due to her injury. But injuries do heal. So if she gets herself medically cleared, then there is a possibility she could wrestle. But then there are other roles. She's great on the mic.
A manager,
a backstage role. She could be an on-screen manager, like mentioned there. She could maybe become a leader of faction of some sort, the anti-diva faction of some kind. There are so much things that you could possibly get her involved in, and would bring some good shine on the Knockouts and, of course, Impact Wrestling. You could imagine, she wouldn't be shy at sort of like putting the information out there. I mean, she does her Twitch show, and Impact wouldn't have a problem with that. No. They would ideally promote it like they did with the Good Brothers, Talking Shop and the Major Players show and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure they would, but we'll just have to wait and see. And Keith, maybe she is going to go to AEW. Maybe she is, but you just don't know that, do you, until it happens. Maybe she doesn't want to just go and get a massive payday. She's not poor.
Like I say, money isn't everything. Sometimes you
money
see
isn't
wrestlers,
everything. And like you just said, she hasn't wrestled since 2017. She's still young. She's still got, maybe she feels that there's still a lot for her to give. And again, she could wrestle safely. She doesn't have to wrestle like every week in, week out. She doesn't have to go on a grid, on a tour. So I think there is a strong possibility that it's a good fit for people.
I can turn it on anytime, Pat. Come on, no problem.
Well, she could turn it on anytime, and that's the beauty of someone like Paige.
Yeah, like I say, I think it would be a good pickup for Impact, and she's someone who could really benefit the division in any form. We're seeing like Maria turn up, and while she hasn't been involved in the Knockouts division, she's been having a hand backstage with it. Of
course. So it's interesting. We're just going to have to go with it. And Aaron, when we get on to Slammiversary, we'll have a good chat about, potential surprises. We'll have a good chat about that in a second. Now, this is my biggest gripe, and I'm gonna get to it though. We're gonna move on to. I want to get it over and done with fairly early so that we can, get onto all the good stuff. Okay, so Slammiversary ticket sales have been slow. It is no, it's common knowledge, right? Slammiversary ticket sales have been very, very slow, right? It's not sold out, and it's like 4 days to go. Now, they've been on sale for what, 3 months, 2 or 3 months now.
Yeah, go for that.
And the reality is that they've still got, a good third of the place empty. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to sell out. I'm not saying it's not going to sell out. I know that Impact have a good record when it comes to walk-ins. I know that they, like the last set of tapings, they hadn't sold the tickets out, and then all of a sudden, in the last day, boom, they all gone. And people were buying on the day, walking in and buying tickets and they filled the place up. Now, I'm not saying that's not going to happen. Okay, I am not saying that's not going to happen. However, I've got to say there is issues within Impact when it comes to advertising and marketing. There is issues. And we have been following this brand. I've been a fan since about 2006, 2007-ish. I've stuck by it through thick and thin. I've seen some of the poor shit that's gone on over the years, but I've stuck by it because I love this. I love this promotion. I have faith in this promotion that it's gonna happen. Stuff that it's gonna get to where it needs to go. I understand that they've got a business plan, and it's all about building a good, strong, solid business. Okay, but as soon as you start getting on tour, as soon as you start wanting to sell out slightly bigger venues, or you want people from different areas getting in there, buying those tickets, you want to get bums in seats. The only way to do that is to let people know you're there. You cannot do that on your weekly show. You cannot do that just on social media or one form of social media, which is what seems to be all they're really doing. Okay, they put out some fantastic promo stuff, like the advertisement for Slammiversary that was put out. It's been running for quite some time. They put that out there, but what they haven't done, is put that on Facebook. I've not seen it on Instagram. The only other place that I've seen it is on the end of other Impact Wrestling related videos that they put out themselves. What? How's that any good? Please explain to me how that's any good, because you're selling your advert. You're showing people that already love the product, that are already watching the product, that you're doing this advert. You don't want that. Impact Wrestling needs to be finding those unique sales. We've got to be finding those people that aren't already watching, that aren't already buying tickets. If we cannot find those unique buys, then the product and the fan base is not going to grow. So continuing just to push your own social media, your own YouTube subscribers, effectively, that are already there, is not going to do that for you. Do you know what really pisses me off? What really winds me up, what grinds my gears, which turns me into the beefalo, right, is when I'm watching BTI on a replay, and halfway through, you get an advert for AEW Forbidden Door. You then watch some sort of Impact replay, and you get an advert for WWE Money in the Bank. Now, when I watch other wrestling content, because I do, right? I'm not, yes, the only product I watch religiously, the only is Impact, but I do watch other things. Okay, I do watch recaps. I do watch wrestling content from other promotions. Okay, the big two, WWE, AEW. I do watch stuff. I watch a bit of Dark. I watch the highlights from Dynamite. You know, all these different things. You know, I watch all of this stuff, right? And I love pro wrestling. I love all of the pro wrestling. I absolutely love it. Okay. But whenever I watch any of that stuff, I never see anything pop up with relation to Impact Wrestling. Anything. I can watch.
Who booked this?
I can watch. Yes. I can watch loads of stuff from other content providers that aren't related to AEW. I can watch, you know, any of the other guys out there that are putting out content related to wrestling, related to Impact Wrestling, and we never get any advertising whatsoever from Impact Wrestling. All we get, and which drives me up the wall, Impact content with other promotions advertising for it. GCW, when they sold out the Hammerstein Ballroom, right, were advertising on YouTube. Every bit of content that comes out, every bit of GCW, Hammerstone Ballroom, it was all over the place, right? Funny enough, bums were in seats. Now, I don't live in Nashville, so, you know, and I don't know if anyone's in the chat right now that is anything, you know, that lives in Nashville, got any idea on whether there's any billboards, whether there's any local TV advertising, radio stuff, or any of that kind of stuff. Because, you know, I think if you go into a local town, then you need to focus your advertising locally. You've got to let those local fans know that Impact Wrestling's coming to town. And you can't do that on social media. And you can't do that by just regurgitating to your same fan base. You can't. Now, you know, Andrew, I'm 100% in agreement. You know, we've had patience. We've had patience for a long time now, right? If you're going to take the step to the next level, if you're going to start filling out venues that are more than 1,000, then you need to start localizing strategies towards getting people, get those bums in those seats. If people knew that Impact were coming to town, they would go to the shows. The roster is amazing. The product is amazing. If you want more people to watch it weekly, you need to get more bums in seats.
Yeah.
You need to get more people watching that product. Go into those shows. We know that when people go to those shows, they all, and I mean this, all I ever see is how good Impact Wrestling shows are. That's like whenever people go, that's all you ever hear. Great show. You listen to the crowds cheering, Impact Wrestling. This is awesome, right? They love it. The shows are fantastic. Now, not everybody in those audience would be hardcore Impact fans, would they? Because if every single place that we went to, right, was hardcore Impact fans in every single one of those venues, we'd be doing 500,000-600,000 a week on the TV show.
Yeah.
Right? Easy. And I think we probably could if the TV channel had a slightly better reach. If you start adding in all the other stuff, you know, all the other viewerships, etc. I don't know if anybody watched the EY with Tom Hanafan interview yesterday. I think it came out, but you know, even EY said then, you know, Impact Wrestling is available like in over like 130 or 140. I mean, even back then when he was talking, like 180 countries worldwide. It has millions of viewers worldwide, and it still has that today. It still has that today. The one thing also that I don't understand is whenever Impact puts out a specific news article or whatever, or something they really want to push, why do they not send that stuff to all of the talent to say, get it out? You've got Matt Cardona, who's got 2.5 million, you know, followers on Twitter alone, let alone Insta, let alone his, you know, all his other social media outlets. You've got Tennille Dashwood, God bless her, 1.5 million follows on Twitter. You know, even
through their 20 years, advertising has always been their downfall. There's never been a point in their 20 years where they've been good at it. You know, it's always been their downfall.
it just drives me crazy. I just don't understand, um, why they seem to struggle so much. Nashville, for God's sake, is the home, is the birthplace of TNA. Like, that place should have been sold out in the first fucking week.
Yeah, but then you do wonder, like, in 20 years, has a lot changed? Has a lot moved on?
In terms of people that would have gone to see the show, you mean?
Yeah.
In Nashville. This is what I'm saying.
Like, yeah.
The bottom line is this. Advertising has moved on, right? And social media is a great way to advertise, but it's not the only way to advertise. It is it's a tool. It's a marketing advertising tool which can really help you elevate, whatever it is that you're trying to sell. I mean, obviously we're selling a wrestling product. In actual fact, the reality is this: a product like this, which is a visual product, if you've got really good visuals and you've got really good video packages and all that kind of stuff, actually, yeah, social media is a fantastic way to promote your product. And I don't think they do it too badly, to be honest, in terms of when they put it through on Twitter.
Yeah,
but nothing
they need to do
happens
it elsewhere, and they don't do
it.
This
stuff. Where is it?
There's no posters or anything in the local areas, and
well, that's what I'm being told. I'm being told that there's not any real sort of kind of like TV advertising on local channels. And I get this sort of stuff. It's not cheap. I understand that. But then if you're going to take your promotion to the next level, then you have to speculate to accumulate, right?
Yeah.
When I started building my business 12 years ago, right? I took a business which was turning over just over 100,000 a year when I took the business on, and for the first 3 or 4 years, I invested heavily in sales and marketing. Now, sales and marketing is my background, so I sort of kind of know a little bit of that stuff. So I invested heavily in my sales and marketing. I did radio. I did, don't forget, this is like a localized business. So, I advertised on the local radio stations and ads in all the local rags and all over, and now, of course, all over social media, in terms of how I promoted my thing. Now, as time's gone on, yes, what I've done is I've actually reduced the amount of marketing that I do, because now I've got a name. Now my business is well known in the area. It's well known. I have a following, so I don't necessarily need to spend as much. So for me, I get this whole build this business up slowly, build it up from the ground, push it through. Actually, now is the time that you should probably have one of your biggest budgets, where you're pushing it through, you're getting there, you want to get those bums in seats. This is the time that you want to push that through. And that is how it needs to be done. You have to do it. You're never going to do it if you don't. Simple as that.
No.
Simple as that. Now, that said, in the last week or so, we've had quite a few pretty cool things going on, including what we were talking about. We had the announcement of several Impact talents appearing on Busted Open Radio, which is fantastic. Which is great. We've also had the Tom Hanafan interviews. So we've had Scott Demore being interviewed. We've had EY was interviewed yesterday. I believe there's another one coming out today. But we also had the Outside the Ropes, I think it was called. Is that right? Outside the Ropes?
Yeah.
Kind of interview format. It was Tom Hanafan interviewing Trey Mcgill. The way that they sort of kind of intertwine that in with clips and stuff, I thought it was really good, really well produced, really well put together. We need more of that. So I really hope that this is something now that they're going to start doing a lot more of. I really, really do. I hope they're going to do a lot more of that. It'd be great if they did a Outside the Ropes interview, like a digital media exclusive type thing every week. It goes out on all social platforms. It goes out on YouTube. It goes out on Impact Plus. Get it out.
We've been saying for a long while, haven't we, that they need to use their digital media platforms as something a bit different, and this looks like it could be something different.
There you go. Just something a little bit different, something a little bit extra that we could do. But again, you know, it needs to be advertised really, really well so that people can see this stuff. You know, I
didn't find out about it until yesterday, and I'd already missed 3.
But there you go. I mean, they did advertise that they were doing these things, which is great, and I liked it. You know, I think it's really good. I know that they've got some media tours going on next week with regards to the the Atlanta tapings.
Yeah.
So I think there's you know, I mean, they're doing stuff, but for me, they're missing the basic stuff. They're doing the extras. What I call, for me, that's like, you know, doing the little media tours that they do with like Moose and Mickey James or Deanna, or whoever it is that they do these little media tours with. They go in and do this, that, and the other. That's great. But to me, that's the extra stuff.
Yes.
You know, the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes is you need to get your advertising, you know, in your local TV channels. Yeah. On your radio stations, the local stuff, your billboard, you know, in the main town center of wherever it is that you're going to be putting on your big show, right?
Yeah. Well, the amount of times I've gone to gigs or gone to events because I've seen a poster, I thought, I fancy going to that. You know, that's how a lot of times I've been attracted to things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And of course, what Aaron Jack is just saying, the card is absolutely amazing. It's stacked.
Yeah.
It's a stacked card for Slammiversary. And, you know, there is potentially some surprises coming in as well, which I'm sure there will be. You know, so get the bums in the seats. Spend a little bit of extra money to get the advertising going and get them in there. You know, I don't understand it. It boggles my mind. But, you know, this is the thing. There's nothing we can do about it. You know, no. there's communities out there, like the TNI community, for instance, that, you know, we do this for free. Like, I'm sat here talking about this show, doing interviews. I do interviews with stars. You know, I pump all this shit out, like, you know, daily, right? And I do it for free. We don't earn any money out of this, right? And we're talking about the show. We're putting it out there. We're, you know, sharing all the tweets, sharing whatever posts they put out there, telling everybody how amazing, you know, Impact Wrestling is. Okay? We're doing all that, but they don't use that. They don't use people like us very well either. Like, you know, for me, if I'm in that marketing office right now, I'm saying, right, what do we have out there that we could utilize? What do we have out there? You know, that are already doing something that ain't going to cost us any money, but we could use really, really well. Oh, I know that TNI group. You know, they do loads of stuff. It's all Impact related. You know, there's maybe we could do something with them. You know, and then they could go. You know, there's that other one, like, you know, you got Lewis Carlin doing stuff, and Delete News. You know, and you know, there's loads of different outlets out there that do a lot of what they do for no money, but they love it so much that they want to do their best to help do it. We're there. It's like we've got our VBD flag. We're waving it. We're saying, come on, you know. So get involved, get in contact with some of these guys. Help them to push the product forward, you know. They did it with Talking Shop. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
You know, it can be done. But, you know, it's just a case of whether these guys are willing to do it, whether these guys are willing to sort of kind of sit down and say, what are we going to do? Where are we going? What are we going to do? And you know what, right? Whenever I've worked in sales and marketing, whenever I set that stuff up for my own business, you always sit down and say, what is the goal here? Right? You know, what is my marketing campaign geared towards? Where am I going for it, and what am I trying to achieve out of it, and how am I going to get there? These are the things, you know, what, how, and where. That's what you need to be looking at. How are we going to get this? You know, and then don't stop until you get there. Set that strategy in place and go for it.
Yeah,
I just
find
don't,
a goal and aim to
you know, yeah, I just don't feel at times that there really is a strategy. It's almost I know, like we are now in this week leading up to Slammiversary, it's almost like, and I'm not saying this stuff is shit, okay, but there's that old saying: throw as much shit at the wall and see what stick. Right, and that's kind of almost what it seems like at the moment. Let's just throw as much at it as we possibly can, because some of it will work. Something's going to work, but it's not. That's not enough. And in reality, it's more expensive doing shit that way. Like, you could do stuff which doesn't cost a great deal of money. You know, I understand that, you know, advertising on TV, radio stations, all that kind of stuff, you know, it costs money. Of course it costs money. You know, people aren't going to do this shit for free, right? So, but if you're going to spend money on putting great video packages together, you know, to entice, and you're throwing it out on Twitter, well, you've already done the hard work. All you've now got to do is pay for someone to put it on their TV show. Like,
yeah,
what's the point in doing all these fantastic promos, these fantastic advertising things, if nobody sees it?
Yeah, we sort of complain, wonder why no one watches, and that's one of the main reasons, because they don't know how to advertise.
I mean, that bomb of a promo that they've got, it's an advert for Slammiversary where it starts off with EY and, you know, building up to the obviously what they're pushing the main event, right?
Yeah,
pushing Slammiversary. That promo is fire.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. If I saw that, if I was in Nashville and I'm you know, didn't know too much about Impact anymore, I'm sat in Nashville and watching TV. I was an old school wrestling fan. I saw that come up. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go check that out. It looks great. I'm going to go and check that out. They've come a long way. Let's go check it out. You know, and that's the way I look at it. But I guess, you know, I just thought, you know, at the end of the day, I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours sticking up for Impact, saying all these fantastic things. I just needed a 10-minute to have a little rant about something that pisses me off. And now I feel better. I feel a lot better. I feel that a weight is lifted off my shoulders. And I hope I haven't pissed anybody off. In what I'm saying, I know you guys, you know, we all love the product. We all love the product, and I'll be honest with you. You know, I love Impact Wrestling. It's not. I'm not slighting anybody. I don't think anyone's in particular to blame. I mean, I saw people getting a little bit personal the other day on the. We don't need to fire people. What we need to do is we need to get a strategy in place, and we need to move it forward and do something better. Do be better. That's the bottom line. You know, we need to accept the fact that we have to speculate to accumulate. But there you go. Yeah. I'm done. I don't want to talk about this any longer. I've said my piece. You know, I know there's a lot of people that feel very, very similar to me. But let's move on. Let's talk about something a little bit more positive. More dates have been added or been announced for August. So we've got Chicago and Dallas venues are yet to be announced. However, I just so happen to be about 300 miles away from Chicago on the 12th of August. And I just have a funny feeling that we might see Front Row Bison at that taping, at that show. I've been looking into it. I'm just waiting for the venue to be released. And I think it's going to be Front Row Bison stood right next to Front Row Bill.
If you have small children, please ask them to leave the room right now.
So if anyone wants to join me on the 12th of August in Chicago, come along, guys. Come along. We can maybe go for pizza before or something. That'd be quite cool. We could do a TNI-UK impacted meet and greet or something at the local pizza parlor. I don't know. I'm sure we'll come up with something. Trent to tell me, or Trent's going to sort me out. I've already spoken to him. He's gonna pick me up from the airport, put me up for the night, get me back to the airport in the morning. After a great night, it's going to be great. Slowpoke, yes. Now there's someone that we'll want to see. Love to meet you, my friend. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, no, so that'd be great. It'd be great if people can get there. It'd be great. But there you go. So that's fantastic. Now, next thing I wanted to talk about was Mia Yim explains why she did not join her husband, Keith Lee at AEW. And, I think this is quite cool. At the end of the day, a lot of what she's saying is, I do my thing, he does his thing, we support each other. And I think that's great. She wanted to come home.
Yeah.
She wanted to come home. She knew if she was to come back to Impact Wrestling, she would be, top of the tree. She'd be she would be appreciated for the quality wrestler that she is. She would be absolutely appreciated. What are your thoughts on what Mia had to say, Steve? I take it you saw this.
Yeah, and it's kind of what you felt, isn't it? That that you feel she had that feeling of like, well, I shouldn't have really left, and I'm now back where I kind of belong. And you feel like, although it is a short-term contract for now, you got the feeling in her voice that it will go past that, and she will be here long term.
Yeah, I think that would be. I think she will. I know that they sort of put that
it was
thing
just
in.
it was just reading through the words and what she said and how she said it. It's like, yeah, I want to be here. I'm home. It's like, we've got Mia for a while.
I think so, and I think when I think before 6 months are up, we'll see Mia Yim has signed a long-term contract with Impact Wrestling or a multi-year deal or something, which I think would be absolutely amazing. Of course, if she does that, then you can bet the bottom dollar she's going to be carrying that title at some point, which I think is going to be amazing, absolutely amazing. And can I just clarify, bonus baby? He's put up a question there asking if any of us have met the US guys. Yes, I have met Bill. And I've also met the scumbag himself. I met him in 2019. That's how I ended up becoming part of the TNI team, because I went to an Impact tapings in New York. It was at the Melrose Ballroom. I've spoken about it a few times before. And I met Kyle, and I took him over some Monster Munch and Iron Brew. He's a big fan of those products, so I took a few of those over for him. And while I was there, this is before Bill actually, front row Bill joined the TNI team. Actually, I met Bill and his friend as well. I met quite a few people, to be honest. But yeah, so I know Bill, and I've definitely met the scumbag, who isn't actually as scummy as he makes out to be. He's actually quite nice. He's actually quite a nice young man. But if it all comes off for Chicago, I'm extremely excited to meet Trent in person as well. He's a great guy. So I'm really looking forward to that. So, but there you go. I'll make sure I get plenty of selfies. But yeah, there you go. So just covering the Mia Yim, I think we've got her for a while. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Mir. So it's all good. Now, tickets are finally on sale for Against All Odds, and of course, the Southern Hospitality in Atlanta now available and seem to be selling quite well. So if you go on to, this is its stark contrast to Slammiversary. Now, whether this is based on the fact that obviously they visited Atlanta a few times now, and then they're starting to get that which is what the idea is. You go back to the places that you start getting a good following. So, I think that's probably more to do with it, which is a great thing. And hopefully, they are doing some local advertising. Fingers crossed. But it's great to see that they are selling reasonably well. But again, quite a late start on selling this one. So I hope it gets sold out, come time. And Violet, I would love to meet you, my sweet. So it'd be great. Maybe we could wear our Lord Bison t-shirts together. How about that?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
We could get a photograph of ourselves wearing them. How cool would that be? But anyway, so it'd be really, really, really excited to see this one. I'm excited about Against All Odds. It's one of my favorite specials, actually. I'm just hoping that it does. We get some really good crowds, because the venues look pretty decent size as well. I know that I forgot what it's called now. Center Stage, is it? The Center Stage venue. It looks different. It looks like it's got that sort of tiered seating, which goes sort of kind of round in a circle. So I'm quite looking forward to that. That's be a bit different. So it should be good. Now we've also got a new potential distribution deal for Impact. It was hinted by Tommy Juma on Busted Open. I don't think it's been released yet. However, I saw something where tickets for the pay-per-view buy is available now on payperview.com or ppv.com. What I found really strange though is that on Fight it's available for $14.99, I think it was, or $19.99 or something like that. Whereas on the payperview.com it's like $39. So I'm like, why would you buy it on that particular stream it that way when you can get it for half the price on Fight? Strange. That's a strange one. I don't get it. If anyone can explain that to me, I've never used ppv.com before, so if anybody knows anything different, then please feel free to pop something in the chat. I just found that really odd. So do you find that a bit odd?
Here we go. Fight is blocked in certain countries. But maybe it's something where it comes, you get other things in like a bundle or something. I don't know, but it is a big. It is a big jump, isn't it? It's not like a couple of quid or something. It is a big jump. It's double the price.
It's double the price.
Yeah.
But okay, if that makes sense, then I mean, obviously, if Fight isn't available everywhere, that does make sense. And of course, if they can't get it on Fight, then they just have to pay the premium, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm glad I can get Fight.
Yeah,
in
likewise.
the UK. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we then had Mickie James also announced as an enforcer for the first ever Knockouts Queen in the Mountain match. I think this is pretty cool. Very excited to have Hardcore Country back. Big fan. What's this? What's your favorite F word? Mayor, I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about. Food?
Food is my favorite F word.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Actually, it's that's a good one. Yeah. Mine is generally fuck you. I quite like that one. But anyway, I don't want to get demonetized here. But yeah, so it's interesting, but great to have Mickie James as part of it. Obviously, a big part of TNA Impact Wrestling over the years. She, and it's just great to have her back. I think, she is amazing. So I'm really happy to have her back. Anyway, we then have PCO injured at the hands of Mr. Mayhem, Steve Macklin, who last week clearly proved he is also not human, because that match was absolutely incredible. I love the spot where they apparently, obviously, injured whatever it was in PCO's arm.
I'm not very squeamish, but that did make me cringe.
It didn't look good, but
no.
I think it was one of those where I think it was one of those sort of kind of like injuries he's got in the past, which is like made him be able to do something which looks a bit freaky. So they then put the spot in that where Macklin bashes the steps into his arm, and then if you look as he pulls out, he sort of kind of got it hunched over. And then that's where it looks like that kind of bone or something is popping out of his lats. But then later on, he sort of moved his arm back and it disappeared.
Yeah.
So
it's like Fulton could do that, couldn't he? He could dislocate his shoulder and pop it back in.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But I thought it was a cool spot. I thought it was a fantastic match. A lot of time for it, and again, it really put Macklin over as a tough son of a bitch.
Yes.
And like you say, we know that Steve is getting a bit of a push at the moment, which we're all very pleased to see, I think. And but I thought this was a fantastic match. Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, like I say, this could very easily have been the main event as well. You know, it done what it needed to do. You know, I found the finish a little interesting. How, you know, PCO literally kind of got up and near enough walked out, because it kind of felt like for me it tainted the finish a little. Like Macklin didn't walk out as like the sole, like I am the one standing kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't criticize the match at all. It was two bulls going at it.
It was incredible. And look, Critical Sting's got it right. It's utterly disgusting as it was. I watched it back, and he posed for Basil to get a good shot. That's true. Yeah, I remember that actually. That's true. That did happen. But yeah, fantastic match, and yeah, again, Steve Macklin showing that he is one hell of a talent, and you know, a great guy to put your money on, I say. Now, also, I wanted to ask, do you think Decay are starting to gain some momentum again with Stephen Torres winning the BTI match versus Sticky Rice and Johnny Swinger, and then Rosemary's now heading into Slammiversary with Taya, so obviously Team Ragnarok, by her side as the number one contenders facing the Influence for the Knockouts tag titles. Could we see a new member join Decay? This is something else I'm interested in, because I don't know why, but I have a feeling that we're going to see a new member. I think it's going to be a male member of Decay now, and of course, you know, because Taya's never going to be a member of Decay.
No,
like Taya and Rosemary, that is not, you know, they may end up as Team Ragnarok or whatever, but they're not. Taya's not going to become a member of Decay. That's not going to happen. So
we could start to see Rosemary kind of become like an associate of Decay now, sort of be half in and half out kind of thing with Taya.
You think?
I don't know. It feels a weird time to bring Taya in unless, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it like. You feel like she's either going to have to be full-time in Decay or full-time with tagging with Taya.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And Critical Sting. Actually, you're reading my mind, because
not for me.
I had a feeling that if they were going to bring in somebody for a nostalgia thing, even if it was just for Slammiversary, Relic would be the perfect person. He would be the perfect person to turn up and you know, be you know, with Decay just for Slammiversary. I'm not saying moving forward.
If it's just for one night,
it would be good. It would be cool. I think. I think it'd be very cool. I'm just saying that. I do, because it's a nostalgia show. So possibly, I'm still not ruling out Abyss turning up, because. You know, as much as he's working for WWE, he's not an on-screen presence. No. He works behind the scenes. He's a producer. You know, and he's, you know, people there probably don't even know him as Abyss. They just know him, you know, as you know, Joseph or whatever he is. I don't know what his real name is. Chris Parks. So if he was to turn up as Abyss, it would be great for us. And I can't imagine WWE would give a shit. But who knows? Who knows? But I think that would be quite cool as well. Do you know what? Critical Sting, I did know that. I did know that, yeah. I think somebody mentioned it earlier on today, somewhere along the line. But there you go. So you just never know. I don't know. I still think that there is a possibility that we're going to get a full-time new member for Decay, but we'll have to see.
Fulton is still a good call.
He is a good call, but I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him.
Well,
okay,
he's out of he's away acting in a film at the moment, isn't he?
Well, he was on he was on Wrestling Revolver on Saturday, so I don't know. That was live, so I don't know. We'll have to see. So I then want to move on, because we're running out of time already. It's like nearly an hour, probably because I had my rant. But there you go. We had a great chicken farmyard brawl when the Good Brothers arrive at the Briscoes farm. I thought this was really good. I did. I thought that to begin with, I wasn't sure. Like the first couple of minutes, I was like, "Oh, here we go, another stupid sort of comedy thing or whatever." But it was still comedic. Don't get me wrong; it was still comedic. Then once it started to get going, I'm like, "Actually, this is really good." As soon as Papa Briscoe turned up, then I'm sold, completely sold. I love the fact that Carl Anderson picked up one of the boy, the obviously the grandchildren or one of the lad's sons or whatever it was, and was basically telling them that their dad was sons and stuff. I thought that was brilliant.
Sort of telling him about all the accomplishments, like he understood what was going on. It was hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
My highlight line was when they walked into the bar and he was like, "Oh, it smells like a Tama Tonga match."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was loads of really cool little stints in there, and I thought it was really good. And and again, the Good Brothers went all out in this. I think that they did a really good job. I thought it was really good. So, and again, I thought this was a nice way to sort of kind of like, give us something with regards to the fact that they've got a match at Slammiversary. And then, but there isn't actually a match.
Yeah, when they inducted the boy as a bit brother in training.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah. And people say that the Good Brothers are boring. This was fantastic.
This is a prime example of why they don't need a title.
Yeah,
because they're so good at stuff like this. You don't need some people. You need to put a title on them to make them feel a big deal. But I don't think you do with them. I think they just come across as a big deal. They're almost like a bit more of an expensive version of the Deaners.
Yeah. One thing I will say is, given how like this last few weeks have been with like how seeing old wrestlers show up from the past and that, part of me when Papa Briscoe was standing there, part of me was really expecting someone like Scott Steiner to turn around.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Just like another wrestler from the past, just to sort of say, look, it's me again.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that it was good. And Dead Punk, I enjoyed that section as well. Uncle Alan, the reference to Uncle Alan and the Boneyard, Boneyard Brawl thing. That was pretty good. But I have to say, that was one of the best things I've seen for WWE in a long time. But there you go. Something else I want to touch on. Did we see the start of an alliance between Chelsea Green and Deanna Purrazzo going into the Queen of the Mountain? And could it mean that moving forward they become a proper tag team, which I think they've wanted for a while, haven't they?
Yeah, for a while I haven't thought either of them would win, because I really feel like we will see them two tag up, and that will lead to afterwards them two going into the tag division. Yeah,
I think that's pretty much what they're building now, what they're setting up. And so I think coming out of the fallout, that's what we're probably going to see. We're going to start seeing them two tagging, which I think will be pretty good. I think they'll make a really good tag team.
It'll be a fresh direction for both of them, and it'll be good for the Knockouts tag division as well.
Definitely. Because let's face it, what we've got at the moment is basically what we've got. You could say Tasha and I suppose Savannah. But then the reality of that one is they're not really a tag team as such. They're a champion and an enforcer. But that could be the thing. I don't know, but we'll just see. We've then got Joe Doran continuing his unbeaten streak. I honestly believed that to make Josh look really strong for Sunday, that this would be Doran's first defeat. First spin, but they managed to keep his streak, his unbeaten streak there, as he gets a DQ, thanks to sort of kind of like interference, I guess. Distraction maybe is probably a better word. Distraction from EY, which then led to the flag going in the ring and and all that kind of stuff, and then the ref seeing the flag, seeing Josh using the flag. It worked. It worked. It's just a shame. I think I know they're trying to keep Joe in this unpinned, unbeaten streak, but I just feel that Josh getting that pin would have just made him look amazing. Do you not agree?
I do, yeah. And you really wonder, like, if Josh doesn't get the pin on Doring, who will? You know, it worries me that we'll get to an EC3 point where EC3 remained undefeated, and then Bennett walked in and just pinned him, and you felt like, really, you've given it to Bennett, who's literally just walked in.
Yeah.
You know, and you feel it's the same with Doring. You know, this was a great opportunity to solidify and give another cap in the feather to Josh. And yeah, who is gonna knock Doring off?
Yeah, no, exactly. Interestingly enough, I totally agree with what you're saying, Dead Punk Gage, by the way. 100% agree with that. I think that's definitely a way from a creative point of view to move on with this now and bring other people into the fray. I totally agree.
Definitely.
So we then have, to finish off basically our recap from last week, we then had that amazing 6-man tag main event. It was giving us basically a preview of what's to come with Honor and Moretti. Eddie, Matt, and Mike took on Chris, Alex, and Kaz. You know, the 6 of them had so much chemistry in the ring. And doesn't it just show you how good, you know, the old boys, I suppose, the old guard of TNA were? Like, you know, if you think about it, these guys, you know, Chris Samac, Shelley, Kazarian, they're not in their prime anymore.
They haven't lost a step, though.
I don't know. If you watch them 10 years ago and then watch a match now, yes, they've lost a step. But
but you know, you watch
still,
some, yeah,
they could
you
still
watch
go
some
better.
wrestling.
They can still go better than others.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Do you know what I mean?
You watch some wrestlers that were around 10 years ago, and you can tell that they've sort of grown 10 years older. Whereas you watch, you know, Saban, Kaz, and Shelley, and you're like, yeah, you're a bit, you've got 10 years on you, but you're still at the top level. You know, there's not much there. Whereas, you know, to go toe to toe with Eddie and OGK, that was a hell of a main event, and it to book a triple threat match, 3-on-3. Impact do it probably better than any company, I'll go out and say.
I agree, and you know how much I love a 3-way in any form, whether it be 3-on-3 or.
I was going to say I went to say it, but I was like, actually no, it wasn't a 3-way, was it?
Almost.
Yeah.
But you know, it was a 6-way, even better. But it was a fantastic match. I just didn't want it to end. It was one of those, you know, where you can get that chant going, fight forever. Fight for. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think when you add in, when we get to talk about the match that they're going to be having at Slammiversary, and you add in, you know, Vincent, PCO, and then whoever, because we still don't know yet. I think we'll find out tomorrow night.
And we'll say as well, I was along with a lot of the chat when Heath came out, because I was like, oh dear, here we go. Because you just assume he's just going to join up, and he's not, you know, not classed as like an original. But as soon as they took him out, you're like, okay, you know, that Heath's not going to be in the match now. And you kind of wonder now, because we kind of wondered if Rhino would be taken out because of his producer role. But obviously maybe not. Maybe they are just taking them both out as a team.
Yeah, no, totally. No, I totally agree with that. Keith Goldman, what are you talking about? Am I missing something in the chat there? He's saying that who's listening to me finally? I don't know. Hakeem took him long enough. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you're talking about. I got no idea what you're about.
Oh, the Impact Press Pass is on now.
The head marketing guy and hire Bison like I don't know about that, but it's I like I said, I'm not saying I would do any better. I'm just saying I think I would do things slightly differently.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what the budgets are. I've got no
Yeah.
idea. So it's very difficult. But I just know what I would be doing or what I would be trying to do if it was me. There you go. I don't run a promotion. I just run a normal business. But who knows? So I just think that this match is going to be amazing. When we get into our preview, we can sort of maybe speculate a little bit who we think is going to finally take those 2 spots. We've already spoken about it a little bit last week. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think now we're moving on. We're getting closer. Who do we think is going to take those spots? We'll have to wait and see. Now, moving on quickly. We've got the countdown to Slammiversary has been announced. I do love these shows because it's always a long wait for us here in the UK. I mean, the shows don't start until 1:00 in the morning. You're trying to keep yourself awake. So starting these a little bit earlier is a bit of a godsend, to be honest. It's a bit of a godsend. Now, the matches that they've got advertised for this, though, you've got Swan versus Myers in the DMC Championship match. Bit of a weird one. I'm assuming Swan's going to win. So he can get his belt back, but you never know. It could be Myers, which would be interesting. Although that we know Brian Myers is not actually on a contract at the moment, so he's on one of those. He's sort of pay per appearance type thing like Cardona now. So be interesting to see where that one sort of kind of falls. And then of course we've got the announcement of the best concept for a match ever from TNA, the Reverse Battle Royale match. There you go. Interestingly enough, we know how terrible this match is. I like the way Scott sort of spun it on Twitter earlier on today. That we are embracing the good and the bad. If you're going to celebrate 20 years, you got to celebrate it all. So I kind of I like the way they're spinning this one, and it'd be interesting if they found a way of actually making this good.
Yeah.
So that all the people that have been saying it's going to be terrible, it actually turns out to be really good.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it as well, because like the both times they've done it, it hasn't just been a match. The match has then led to a further tournament, hasn't it? You've had like the 8 outside the ring, and then the 8 who get into the ring battle, and then that leads to like a ranking system, which then leads to a tournament. So it'd be interesting if they follow that suit, or if they do make it just whoever wins the match and gets a title shot of some sort. So I'll be intrigued to see how they handle the match.
I have to say, talking about leading on, that I think that we could see the return of the Bound for Glory series.
I really hope so, because, again, I think they could handle it a lot better. And maybe that's what this will be. This will be a ranking to get into the Bound for Glory series, maybe.
Well, there is that. Or it's just a way of getting, using everybody on the pay-per-view.
That was my first thought. I was like, this is just a way to get everyone on the pay-per-view. Because that's kind of why when it was announced, I sighed. I was like, this is just a way to get everyone on the show, isn't it?
Yeah. And someone like Shark Boy will be in on this. And, who knows? Who could turn up on this one? I have to say...
That's why it's hard to call a winner, because, like I say, in the past, the winner of this match has not officially won the match, have they?
No. Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
But
my feeling of it is, though, that it's one of those things where the ring itself, the ropes aren't enough, because obviously you need to climb over the top rope to get into the ring, right?
Make it a cage or something.
That's the whole thing. It needs to be something around it to make it a little bit harder to get in. But we'll see. Can I just say, take care, Hakeem. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Yeah.
But
But no, it's going to be an interesting pre-show. Like, I personally think we'll see Myers win the title from Swan.
Okay.
Because I think there'll be
Yeah.
a great. I think there'll be a great story. Swan being a digital media champion, but never have held it.
never actually held the belt.
Mm.
Yeah, that could be an interesting story. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's an interesting one as well. Gauntlet for the gold battle royale.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see how this one pans out. I have to say, I'm excited. I am actually excited to see this. And I know there's a lot of naysayers. And there's a lot of naysayers out there. But I have faith. I have faith that they wouldn't put something out if they thought it was going to be a load of bollocks. Simply because this is on the countdown. Effectively, this is the buy-in.
Yeah.
So people to watch this for free and see that and it's a load of shit, right? They're not going to buy the pay-per-view, are they?
No.
So I have a feeling that they have possibly come up with a way of making it good. So let's wait and see. They got some very creative minds in the back of Impact Wrestling. I'm excited. I actually can't wait for this one. So guys, let's get into the Slammiversary pay-per-view. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and we've not actually touched.
Hey, we got the joke going.
Yes, but we've not actually touched Slammiversary preview yet. So let's get cracking through this. Obviously, we're just going to talk about the matches. Once we've done that, we'll get stuck into the go-home show. But we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So now I don't know what order this is going to be in. I'm just going the order from bottom to top that they've got on the website. So, which I would assume is going to be ish of the order, possible order. Oh, hello. Off the Top Ropes podcast. Thanks for joining us, my friend. Great to have you with us. Always nice to see support. And great stuff from Hakeem. Anyway, great to see you.
Much love.
Thanks for joining the show. We appreciate everybody getting involved. And like we've always said, please let everybody know about the show. Hit that sub. And don't forget to smash the bell. You never miss any of it. Tickle the sub, smash the bell. Anyway, Terrence Sullivan, that's interesting. Put Terrence's comment up because he's saying, look at that. He's saying Sunny Siaki, Trinity Lollipop. What else you got? Kid Cash would be a good one. Camille, obviously Nick Aldis, Rohit, Jake something, Willie Mack, Alicia Savannah. Alicia, Savannah Evans, Taryn Terrell.
Well, I can say Sonny Siaki wouldn't be able to be there because I know he's not able to wrestle no more.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd love it. I'd love him to be able to, but yeah, he's sadly retired.
Yeah. Sorry, Larry. Yeah, it's on the pre-show, mate. It's on the countdown. Is the digital media one? It's on the pre-show. So interesting. We've got. Who could actually be in that match? There's a lot of people. I don't think, Rohit or Jake could be in there because obviously they're not contracted with the company anymore, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Send us Jimmy Wang in the Flying Elvis costume.
Oh, yeah. You imagine it. Can you imagine? I want to see Curry Man. Jesus Christ, I want to see Curry Man all day long. Right, let's get into the actual preview of Slammiversary itself. So we've got the Knockouts World Tag Team Title Championship. We've got the Influence versus Rosemary and Taya, obviously Team Ragnarok. I'm excited for this purely and simply because we've waited for a long time to see Rosemary and Taya get together as a tag team. Obviously she was sent off to jail. We saw at the last week on Impact, Taya come out to help Rosemary. Rosemary still looked a bit unsure. She looked upset. She said, "You left us." You could see Taya mouthing that she was sorry, and then we get the match announced later on earlier this week. I don't know. Can we see Rosemary and Taya winning this? I personally can. I personally can see Rosemary and Taya coming out as a tag team champions, beating the Influence. What do you think, Steve? What do you think?
I think so too. I think that the Influence have had a really good reign as champions. And the only team that you had to look at were Decay, And while Decay were a great team to hold the titles, it was like, well, we're going back to Decay again. While this is a fresh team, you know, it is Rosemary again, but it's Taya, not Havoc. So I think this is a great time to change the belts up, and it kind of feels like the right time to do it as well.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. I think it needs to happen for me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I've enjoyed the influence. I think
Oh
they're
yeah,
fun.
I think they've
it's
been
the best thing.
fantastic.
It's the best thing they could have done with Tennille on her own. I think she's terrible, but with Madison, basically, you know, doing her thing, I think it's worked really, really well. So, you know, I think they've been okay. It's not been amazing. I thought Fire and Flavor's run was way better. I think they were
Oh yeah,
a great tag team, Fire and Flavor. Great tag team. Gutted for them. But
yeah, I won't disagree
think
with that.
I think Team Ragnarok is the way to go. Definitely the way to go. And a lot of people, I think, feel the same way as well in the chat by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So that's good to see. I think I should be in the Reverse Royal, you know, Battle Royale. I think I should be in that. You said the Bison. You know.
Why not?
Why not? I'd be all over that.
I did make a joke without realising it.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Or did you realise it? You were just pretending you didn't realise it. There you go. You never know. We've then got the Monsters Ball, which is going to be fucking insane. We've got Moose versus the Death Machine, Sami Callihan. You know, I saw Sami get in the ring on Saturday against I can't remember who it was that he did it against now. Some Sean something or other. On it was on Wrestling Revolver. He jumped in the ring, so he's clearly ready because he wasn't hanging about. He went for it. He was jumping in, jumping out. So he's ready. So I think, you know, if you're gonna bring the Death Machine back, a Monsters Ball match, yeah, that's the first match. That's all he needs. He will be, again, I think this is going to be an amazing match. It's going to be an amazing match. And like Joe said, you know, it's going to be a proper tribute to Abyss. You know, you couldn't have had this Slammiversary, you know, 20-year anniversary without a Monsters Ball match. Simple as that. What do you think, Steve? What do you think?
Oh yeah, everything you've just said. You know, it's a Callahan special, isn't it? It's going to be interesting to see Moose because I know he's done the odd, you know, hardcore match, but we don't see him in too many. One thing I will say from last week's Impact, it was really weird seeing Callahan in the full-on face mode. You know, Moose was going at him like the proper heel, and Callahan was being treated as the full-on face, and it was just so strange. So this match's dynamics are going to be very interesting to watch. But yeah, this match is going to go ball, and I would be very shocked if this match isn't very high on the card.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sammy's got to win this. He has to.
I hope so. He's got to win, isn't he? He's got to come in as you know, we got to see him, you know, you know, what do they call it? Like a triumphant return. I think it would be amazing. I really do. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's probably going to be one of my favourite matches of the night, I'm sure. We've then got the 10-man tag match, the Honor No More. Obviously, we were talking about that just now. So we've got Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Bennett. That's true. Raven and Monty Brown as well. You're right. I've lost where we were now. Vincent PCO and obviously Mike Bennett versus Team Impact OGs. So we've got the Motor City Machine Guns, and we've got Kazarian now. So what are we thinking? Who's going to take those two spots, and will we find out tomorrow night, do you think? Or is it going to be a surprise on the night?
I think it'll be a surprise on the night. Part of me, because I think they showed a flashback, didn't they, of Daniels and Storm. Part of me feels it will be those two now. Even though
you say that, but you've got Chris Harris around. Why would you not reunite America's Most Wanted?
I guess it just depends what shape Harris is in, but it's one of those where you know the perfect the perfect scenario would be AMW.
I agree.
You know, it's one of those where it has to be AMW really, but yeah, that's what we want.
It's what I want. It's definitely, and I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to see that. No matter what shape Chris Harris is in, the beauty about this kind of match is everyone gets their turn, and they also get their turn to come back out again and get the breath back before they have to go back in.
Yeah.
So
I will say though, even if it isn't AMW, anyone from the past, it will be great to see.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I sort of agree. I would just be very. I don't know. I just think you've got the perfect opportunity to get one of the most iconic tag teams together of the 20 years of TNA Impact Wrestling. Chris was there. Yeah. He was there. We know that James Storm will do the odd thing, and it's just got to happen. I'd be disappointed if it doesn't.
Yeah. Bubba and Devon ain't likely bonkers. I think Devon's still with WWE.
Don't think so. No, he's retired, mate. No. He's fully retired, Devon. Fully retired.
I thought he was backstage with WWE.
No. And obviously Bully is totally out as well. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Bully Ray will be there. Personally, whether Devon will be, I don't know, but because I've heard that Bully and Devon have fallen out because Bully wanted another run as a tag team, and Devon's like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm done," and that was it. And then they fell out. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but either way, this is going to be a cracking match. If last week's 3-on-3 is anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute cracker. Yeah. Absolute cracker.
Yeah. Do you think we will definitely see PCO in the match?
He's in that match.
Oh yeah, I know, but I mean, do you think we will definitely see him in the match, considering the fact that he got injured?
Well, did he? I don't know.
But if
hang on
not,
a minute, I'll just pop it back in. Oh, there you go. He's not human. He's not injured. He's not human. You know what I mean? He's probably Vincent's out in the back getting him another arm. You just don't know. But no. I think he'll be there. Obviously, it's been a good match. It's been over. What has it been? About a month, hasn't it? Since the tapings. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. And to be fair, I think if he wasn't going to be there, we'd know by now.
True.
They've had plenty of time to let us know, and they could have used the fact that he was injured. They could have used that, couldn't they? Already, if that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know. We've then got the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Obviously, the Briscoes versus the Good Brothers. I know that we're all wondering if we're going to get Big Lights Machine Gun, or we're going to get Just Good Carl Anderson. We just have to wait and see. But I know that he did tweet out yesterday after a lot of the negativity that I think that he was not expecting, or maybe he was expecting, that about his match, that they're going to become tag team champions, and that Bright Lights, Machine Gun's going to be there, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think on this one?
Again, I think this is another match of the night contender. We know what these two teams can do. We've seen it twice already. And it is the rubber match, so both teams are going to go balls to the wall. It's a tough one, but if I'm going on what I think should happen, I think that the Briscoes have to keep the titles. I think that they've been a breath of fresh air in the Impact Tag Team division. And like we've said, I think the Good Brothers are a bit more interesting when they're in the chase. They can have the titles occasionally, but we saw them for so long with the titles. It's nice to see them without.
Okay. Yep. And I mean, we know that there's another month. We know we got them for at least another month. Yeah. But like I've always said, I just don't think they need a title. I just don't. I just don't see it. I just don't see that they need it. Can I just say a quick hello to Mega 93W, because I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat before, so nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. So, yeah, no, either way, I honestly think it's going to be a good match. We're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we? We've then got the X Division Championship Ultimate X Style. Ace Austin versus Trey Mcgill versus Mike Bailey versus Kenny King versus Alex Zane versus Jack Evans. I'm not disappointed in who we've got because I like Alex Zane.
Yeah.
But because I really wanted Amazing Red in this. I really wanted Amazing Red in this match. However, we've got Alex. He's got beef with Austin for joining the Bullet Club. We've got Jack Evans, which is amazing. I think this is going to be, again, one of those possible contenders. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm in the same position as you, where you look at the match card and, like, let's say that this was Hard to Kill. You'd think, wow, match of the night contender. This is fantastic. But for Slammiversary, for you celebrating your 20 years, it just feels like you're missing someone. You know, there's not really anything there that says, you know, this person, you know, Jack Evans is the closest, who was around in 2004, and he was only there for a cup of coffee. So it does feel like you are missing that person to celebrate the 20 years.
I'm disappointed. I was really expecting Amazing Red in this, and it would have been amazing. It just would have been amazing.
Oh, it would.
If it was him.
Yeah. Like I say, maybe we will see something after the match, but the fact that near enough everyone in this match has some kind of beef with each other, I think that will also add to the match. And I would be stunned if after Slammiversary we don't see Alex Zane stick around.
Oh, I hope so. Alex and Jack. I'd like to see them both stick around. And
yeah.
You say about Jack Evans, you've got Kenny King, mate. Kenny King's in there.
Yeah. Like I say,
he's a TNA guy. You know,
he is.
He was
sort of 2007 was he? 2017 as well.
Yeah, So, you know, there's a couple of nostalgic guys in there, but you know, like you said, I just think you needed someone like an Amazing Red, which would have turned, because he's one of the sort of kind of innovators of that match, you know. But there you go. We then got the Knockouts World Championship, Queen of the Mountain. I'm very excited about this one. Tasha Steelz versus Gianna Perazzo versus Chelsea Green versus Jordan Grace versus, of course, the amazing Mia Yim. Now, and of course, as we talked about earlier, Mickie James is the enforcer. So here we've got, you know, when you think about it, we've got a good mix of new and old. So you've got TNA, Mia Yim, formerly Jade. We've got TNA, former Knockouts champion Chelsea Green. Obviously Laurel Van Ness at that time in this, which is great. You know, we've got Tasha, who is also the current champion. Deanna, former. And Jordan Grace, obviously former. Now, Jordan Grace is looking incredible these days. I think her in-ring is just so good. And she's going to be formidable in this. She's going to be formidable. As much as I see Tasha Steelz retaining, for me, the person other than Mia, because I would like to see Mia Yim win, but it's just a little bit early for me. It's only had one match prior. I'd like to see Jordan take it on again. And then I could see some amazing battles. Jordan versus Mia Yim would just be an insane rivalry. That's my thoughts. You know, again, you could start throwing Masha Slamovich into the fray. Even Savannah Evans, maybe, because she's a powerhouse as well, and she had an amazing match with Mia. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, the one thing that was holding me back from going with Jordan was what might happen with her and Morrissey, you know, because they were looking good as a tag team. But obviously we know now Morrissey is no longer around in Impact. So that leaves the door completely wide open for her to go for the knockouts title. And with that in mind, she probably looks the best because, as we spoke about earlier, Chelsea Green and Deonna, we feel like we're going to see some tag team action there for those two.
Yeah.
As you said, it feels a bit early for Mia, and I feel like we could see some interaction from Mickey on behalf of Tasha to maybe distract her, and kind of that could lead back into that feud for and that kind of leaves Jordan, who would. It's been a long while since she's held the title.
Yeah.
A couple of years, is it now?
It's been a while. And she is way better now than she was when she held it.
Yeah.
Like, she is so good. I can't stress, like, those guns are just incredible. They are just incredible. She's insanely, strong. She's amazing in the ring. She looks so intense. She really is like a female version of Big Papa Pump, right? She just really is.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I'd like to see her take it on again. I really would. And I think a feud between her and Mia Yim would just be like, that's fucking money, mate. That is money.
Oh, yeah.
All day long. All day long. What are your thoughts, guys? There's a lot of people, saying Mia. Got people in there obviously talking about Savannah Evans being strong, which is very true. Off the ropes, I agree with that. But let's know your thoughts on Jordan Grace. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, or whoever you think will win.
No.
But like I say, the options wide open, and I mean, we could even see the rise of Masha Slamovich head towards Jordan Grace. What a match that would be. Yeah.
Exactly. Just incredible stuff. Go on, Larry. Hey, first pay-per-view in years, and he books this one. It's going to be an absolute banger, my friend. You're going to love it. I cannot wait. So we then got the Impact World Championship, which is obviously billed for the main event. We've got Josh Alexander versus Eric Young. As it stands on the roster at the moment, as signed talent, I couldn't think of anyone better than Eric to take on Josh Alexander right now. This is the 20th anniversary. It's a nostalgia show. You've got the old guard taking on the new guard, passing the torch. I could see at the end of this match, Josh winning and Eric Young literally lifting the guy's arm to say fucking fair play, and then Kurt Angle coming down to solidify Josh Alexander even more. That's what I'd like to see. I think that'd be awesome. But what are your thoughts in the chat? What do you think on this one, and what do you think, Steve, on this match?
Yeah, like you said, it's the perfect combination of the old versus the new. And when it was announced, we were like, "This is exactly what we want in every match." Your TNA original versus your up and coming star. And yeah, EY has been on fire ever since he come back from his injury. So he is 100% deserving of this chance, and it's gonna be an absolute banger of a main event. I'm not sure I feel EY's gonna raise the hand because it's a bit out of character for him.
I guess
it would look a bit weird, but I do really hope we do see Kurt Angle at the end.
Yeah, I guess.
We were saying that at Hard to Kill, weren't we? We were really hoping he came out. Was it Hard to Kill or was it another event?
I don't know. I can't remember. But
yeah.
I want to see Kurt Angle come out at some point. I totally agree with what you're saying, Larry. But we have to remember that this is a nostalgia show.
Yes.
Right? So, it makes sense. Loads of people are going, "Oh, it needs to be Jay White," and why? He's not even signed to Impact Wrestling.
He's got no history. Sense. He's got no history with Impact. So this is for us, like our 20 years of history. You need wrestlers that have got history with the company. Yeah,
totally agree. And yes, we know he's had double knee surgery, Mir, but that was a little while back now. It would be, but could you just imagine, at the end, it's all said and done, and then the Olympic music hits, and out comes Kurt Angle to basically endorse Josh Alexander as the new generation of world champions. Well, I mean, it would just be amazing.
Mm.
It would be an amazing moment for Josh. It would be an amazing moment for all the TNA originals. It'd be an amazing moment for us, the fans that have been watching, TNA since day one.
I
since
still think it would be good.
2007.
I still think it'd be cool if we saw the NWA title.
It would. I still feel, because I mean, not a lot's been said about the box recently.
Yeah.
The box that was opened with the gold glow. I still think there's going to be and that's what I'm saying. That's why someone like Kurt coming down to present Josh with the brand spanking new, TNA big belt inspired championship belt. You know what I mean? It would just be an amazing moment for the to finish the show off. I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
But there you go. I mean, I have a feeling there's one more match to be added tomorrow night.
Maybe.
Because at the moment we got 7. I know obviously it's going to be a nostalgia heavy show, so there could be all sorts of stuff going on. But I still feel there's going to be 8 matches. I still think it'd be an 8-match card, because we've seen them doing 9-match cards in the past.
Some of them probably going to take that a little bit more, like the Queen of the Mountain.
Yeah, possibly. But I just feel that there could be maybe a TNA OGs match of some sort.
That would be cool.
Just to cut the TNA guys going at it. I think it'd be really cool. This is where the Fallen Angel comes in, or something like that. I don't know, but there's loads of possibilities we could get something. I think we could. Now, guys, last week we introduced the TNI Tribe Challenge. Now, the challenge was to get the Total Nonstop Impact YouTube channel to 2K subscriptions by Slammiversary. Now, you've done all right so far, but we're barely hitting 1,800. Now, I'm starting to think it's not going to happen. But we need you guys to get it out there. Spread the word. Get people subscribing and tell them why. You come and watch us week in, week out. There must be a reason. Let everybody know about TNI-UK. Let everybody know about Total Nonstop Impact. Get them subscribing to the channel. Tickling the subscribe button. Smashing the bell to never miss a listen. It'd be amazing if we could get even close to 2K by Slammiversary. You've got 4 days to do it, guys. Help us do it. Encourage them as much as possible. Share all of our stuff, but also encourage them to actually physically subscribe. That would be amazing. 2K by 20. If we can make it happen, that would be absolutely incredible. It's in your hands. It's you guys, the TNI Tribe. It's in your hands. Let's make it happen, guys. Right, let's move on. We've got the digital media exclusive match. I literally watched this earlier on. Chris Bay versus Raj Singh. Chris Bay's the winner. Amazing match. I really enjoyed it. Did you see it?
Yes, yeah.
It was a good match.
Oh, yeah, really good match. Bit worried in how Bay has been portrayed lately, but, he's still putting on fantastic matches, and, I even thought Raj stepped up in this match.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. You had Shearer on the outside, obviously causing distractions and stuff. It was a good story told. Really good match. Chris Bay looked fucking amazing. I don't know what they got in store for him, because at the moment, he's not on the Slammiversary card, which is unbelievable.
I know. It sort of feel like now Ace is in the sort of Bullet Club. It sort of feels like he's now stepped above Chris Bay.
I don't know about that. I think what they're doing is they're building an Impact Bullet Club. They're going to build an AEW Bullet Club, and they've got your Japanese Bullet Club, and I think that's how they're going to do it. So we get representation of Bullet Club around all the 3 promotions, and they could sort of kind of interchange a little bit. We could see, the AEW version, maybe one of them pop up on Impact from time to time, etc. But we'll just have to see. What's that? When we reach the goal, Trent has to shave off his facial hair. Well, yeah, that'll take some convincing.
Yeah.
That really will take some convincing. But there you go. So we then move on, and we've got the BTI match. You got Laredo Kid versus Blake Christian. Now, Blake's not signed yet, but for me, I know that Trent has his issues with him. He calls him bland, he calls Blake Christian generic wrestler.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think there's a bit more to him than that, and I'd like to see him develop a bit more. I think
I will. I will
he needs
say
to be
that he
signed.
doesn't. Yeah, I will say that he doesn't have as much character as some others, but he does have something about him.
But is that because he's not signed as such? So you're not going to invest development into creating a character in someone.
No,
on
I think
your
that's
show?
just. I think that's just him. He hasn't developed one. Some wrestlers you see on the independents, they've developed their character. They know, they've got something about them, haven't they? Whereas I don't think he's ever really known how to develop or known what he wants to be. So he's just thought,
I guess
I'll just be a wrestler. I'll just be a wrestler.
Yeah,
He's got some personality about him, but I don't think he's pushed it to the limit where he doesn't know what direction to go in, so he's just sort of kept.
But
in
then
his
maybe
safe
that's
bubble.
why he needs to stick his fucking signature on the line, get himself a multi-year, 2-year deal, and let Impact help him take it to the next level. Because he's certainly got in-ring ability. I enjoy watching him perform. But like you say, he hasn't got at the moment. He doesn't really have that full-on character development. So maybe that's what he needs. He needs to sign the dotted line. Stop
But
being a
Laredo
pussy.
Kid is signed, and we
he's
need
great.
to see, and we need to sort of see more from him as well. Like they kind of push him, then stop him, then push him, then stop him. So that's another up and down direction.
And that's it. I don't even know who Blake Christian's girlfriend is. Any ideas? I got no idea. Or is that a joke? I don't know. But yeah, you're right, Larry. I agree with you. That's what I was trying to say. I think Blake is
Would
the
benefit.
type of wrestler that would benefit from signing the contract, getting the manager, and then helping him over a 6-month period build that character up. There you go. Totally agree with that. So they're saying Bay's probably going to be the biggest star in the Royale thing, in the reverse battle royale. Could be.
Yeah.
So we then go on to Impact. We've got the Briscoes versus Jay and Bay Bullet Club. I think we can safely say the Briscoes are going to win that because it'd be really awful if they went into Slammiversary to defend their title on a loss. So I'd be very surprised if they lose. But either way, I think this is going to be a cracker because we know that Jay White and Chris Bay make a really good tag team.
They do.
And we know how good the Briscoes are. So I think it's going to be a great match. We then got Masha versus Alicia. Is this going to be a squash match, or is Alicia going to surprise Masha?
After what we saw with Masha and Havoc, I can't see it being anything other than a squash match because to think that Alicia will put up more of a fight than Havoc.
Right. Okay.
I want it to be more than a squash, but I just don't see them booking Masha any different than what they have been.
Yeah, but the problem is Masha needs to. We need to start seeing something else.
We need some development. Yeah.
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 It's not happening.
No, I really felt we were going to get it when she took on Havoc, and it was.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
I'm a bit gutted, to be honest, at that because I understand they were writing Havoc out for a bit, but I don't know. I don't know on that one. I'm not sure. I really hope Alicia doesn't get squashed, totally squashed. I expect her to lose, but I'd like her to put up a bit of a fight. Show that AIP. Do you know what I mean?
It might be one of those where she gets a bit more in if she is out there with Giselle, because it might be a bit of a 2-on-1.
Yeah, Masha's going to kill her though. Giselle's already told her that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We then got Tasha Steelz and of course her friend or enforcer Savannah Evans versus Jordan Grace and Mia Yim. Now, I sometimes feel that when they sort of kind of throw these things, I mean, I know this is obviously almost like a prelude to these guys meeting at Slammiversary. But sometimes when they throw these teams together, I sometimes think, are they testing them to see how good they work as a team?
Maybe.
I mean, we know Tasha's a good tag team wrestler, and we have seen her with Evans before. Not quite as strong for me as she was with I've forgotten her name already. How bad's that? Kira Hogan.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Jordan Grace and Mia Yim. I mean, that could be quite an interesting tag team, couldn't it?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. They're both got different styles too, and those styles could very well complement each other very well.
Yeah,
The speed and strength, or not saying that Grace Jordan isn't slow, but she's definitely got more strength on her side.
Yeah. Can I just say, Larry, I disagree. But anyway, I totally disagree. Alicia Edwards is better than I think a lot of people realise. I think she just needs to be given a chance. The problem is she's small. That's the problem. She's small. But there's
I do think if she put maybe a bit of muscle on, people might take her. Might be able to see a bit more in her. Bless her.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, she's not weak. She's pretty well toned. She's just so small.
That's what I meant. Yeah, she looks small.
She's just really small.
Yeah. Then again, I can't talk.
I call her a firecracker. She's a firecracker. That's what she is. Yeah, she's got AIP all over it. Anything's possible, baby. Yeah. Anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see, where that pans out. I think Mia Yim and Jordan could be quite an interesting tag team, but we'll just have to see. We then also got Trey Mcgill versus Mike Bailey advertised. I mean, we know that this is going to be an absolute cracker, don't we?
Yeah.
Right. We know it's going to be a cracker. And again, it's sort of kind of like, well, these guys are in the X Division Ultimate X match. Let's get them in the ring, have a little bit of a taster of what we're going to get. That's what the go home shows are all about. We know that. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets put over in this match. Do you think?
Yeah, and part of me wonders if, part of me feels like I'd rather not see the match because, then I don't know. It's one of those things where you feel like everyone's going to go into the match on an even playing field. And also, it's sometimes nicer going into a match where no wrestler has had contact with each other, weeks going into it. So, while this match is going to be a fantastic match and you would, not ever turn your eyes up at it, it is one of those where you feel, do I really want to see it 3 days before I'm going to a degree, see it again?
To a degree, yeah. In a slightly different situation, but I know what you're saying, definitely. But then you could say that. You could say that about the Honor No More match. You could say that about, seeing Steels and Evans versus me.
And you can normally always predict the result when you see the match. Like say the Honor No More match. Whoever loses the match, you're like, well, they're going to win now. It's very normally always paid by numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Can I just say, Lakers is in the house again.
Hey, we got our Lakers back.
Yeah, Lakers, total fucking legend. Anyway, he's in the house. Great to see you in the house, buddy. Thanks for joining us. A little bit late, but better late than never, I say. Better late
Personally,
than never.
not.
No, I don't think we'll ever see a six-sided ring ever again.
No, I mean, like I say, I like the look of it, but I know a lot of wrestlers hated it, so...
Yeah, they didn't like it. It was very hard because the rope lengths were shorter, so they were very stiff. I think that was a problem. The wrestlers came away, their bodies got quite battered. When using the six-sided ring. But there you go. We then got advertised the Josh and Eric contract signing, obviously for the Slam main event. I'm surprised it hasn't been done already, but I'm sure that's going to be interesting. An interesting segment. And then from a match perspective, we've got Olin No More, Vincent and Kenny King. Again, two guys that are going to be in the Ultimate X match. That are going to be at Slammiversary, working at Slammiversary, versus Aces and Eights, throwback TNA Aces and Eights, Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe. Now, where the bloody hell's this one come from? I'd heard about this. I'd heard about these guys turning up. I think D'Lo Brown brings them out as well, which is interesting. Is this going to lead to something more?
Given what we've seen over the last few weeks, I'll say no, because it does seem like we're getting sort of the odd appearance from a wrestler, and that's about it. So I'll say no, but if it does lead to more, then I won't complain. I mean, like I say, I was never impressed with Briscoe and Bischoff when they were in TNA last time.
They were very green. They were very green.
But I don't know.
I've not seen. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw them last year at, I think, Lariato Pro, and by God, have they improved. They are so much more fluid in the ring now that I would happily watch a match of theirs, So
was that as a tag team or separate?
Yeah, they were as the Aces and Eights. They were there with Nux and I think Gallows was part of it as well.
Okay, so was that one of them Lariata Pro shows?
Yeah.
I think I saw that. I think I didn't watch it, but I think I'm aware of that happening. I don't know. I think the fact that D'Lo Brown apparently is bringing them out and stuff would suggest to me that there is a possibility of a further storyline. Maybe they were using this as to gauge the reaction.
Maybe.
To see how people took to it, especially as, it was them. If you think about it, Wes and Garrett were like the original, basically. They were the first.
Yeah.
Before we even knew about anybody else. Those two were the first, So
yeah, well, you had those two, and Nux, didn't you? As Nux was one of the first ones. He was one of the three that attacked Sting, weren't he, at the very start of Slammiversary?
That's right. Yeah. So I don't know. Let's see. Briscoe used to do this really weird. He used to stand weird.
Yeah,
he used to have this thing where he sort of kind of stood. I can't explain it, but he sort of kind of like would stand like this all the time, like the Joker bodybuilders.
Yeah,
they sort of kind of like they move their bodies stiffly like this. So yeah, that's what he used to remind me of. That Wes Briscoe used to literally walk around like this.
Yeah,
he was really stiff. But I remember that.
It made me smile how he wore a mask when you could easily tell it was him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, without doubt. But it's interesting. People saying they're surprised that Bischoff returned to Impact. Even for a one-off. I don't know why. What? Just because his dad's a dickhead and has been, slagging Impact off. I guess. I don't know, but who knows? We're let's wait and see. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off and on my, thoughts on this one and just see if they've improved, see if it's any good.
And it's interesting that they've turned up because it was one of those things where we thought they were coming like 2 years ago or whatever, didn't we?
Well, they were set to do it for the.
Or was it last year?
No, they were set to do it for that TNA. Was it No Place Like Home show or whatever it was before the pandemic hit? Yeah. I think they were set to do something there. No, I mean I'm interested. I'm intrigued to see what they're about. Again, it's another callback to the old TNA days. So I'm all for that. As we're celebrating 20 years, I'm all for it. Whether I would have wanted to see it if we weren't celebrating 20 years is another matter. But let's give it a go, see what happens. You never know. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much all we've got all we've got to look forward to. I think it looks like it's going to be a pretty good go-home show. Hopefully, we're going to get super hyped for Slammiversary this Sunday. Obviously, live on pay-per-view. Hopefully, the place is going to sell out. Hopefully, Impact are going to start improving marketing and sales. And hopefully, we're going to be singing the praises of what a fantastic pay-per-view it was when we come to review it next Wednesday. But yes, I think it's going to be great. But guys, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for extra exclusive content when you sign up. And also make sure that you watch tomorrow night's TNI flagship Impact live review directly after the show's aired. Obviously, it's airing on YouTube and Twitch, just like this one. Almost bedtime. I don't go to bed at 8 o'clock in the evening, Mir. Come on, son. Anyway. Also, all TNI shows are available for all you listen on the go fans as audio only versus SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are there. Just search it up. Total Nonstop Impact. We're there. Where can we find you on the socials, Steve? Where can we find you, my friend?
You can find me over on the Twitter at SimplySteve311, where I post everything Impact Wrestling related. You can also search any of my Impact Wrestling articles over at WrestleBuddy.com. I try to post them every Thursday, so feel free to have a look. And yep, that's where you can find anything that I write up about Impact.
Cool. And as I always say, guys, Steve's articles are really well thought out and well laid out. They're definitely worth worth checking them out. They're really good. Just like our brother Hakeem as well. He does some, Hakeem Fullerton. He puts out some great, well thought out, researched articles as well, because that's the important thing. Let's not just make up bullshit. Let's actually research and put out some good stuff. That's what it's about. So make sure you check that out, because Steve's very good at that. If you're more interested in finding out a bit more about the Bison, I am available on Twitter at LordBison45. Go and give me a follow. I'm getting closer and closer to 2,000 follows. So come on, guys, get involved. Give me a follow. Very, very excited, to get to Slammiversary this weekend as well. Very, very excited. Steve's frantically typing the ivories there. No idea if that's coming to me, going in the chat. I got no idea. We'll wait and see. But yeah, if you're interested in following the Bison, go and check me out on Twitter at LordBison45. I loved, talking wrestling, basically. I love, especially Impact. I love it. So get involved. Come and follow us. And don't forget, you need to let the world know about Total Nonstop Impact YouTube channel. We want to hit 2,000 subs by Slammiversary. Can you help us do that? Only you can do it. Let the world know how much you love TNI, how much you love TNI-UK, and let's get those subs up. It would be great. That would be absolutely great. And as I say, please take the time to make sure you help us move up the rankings on YouTube by giving this particular video a thumbs up. Really, really important. And like I said, if you're new, you like what you see, you like the content, it's coming out weekly, make sure you tickle the sub button, and of course you smash the bell to never miss any of the great content coming out each and every week on the TNI YouTube or Twitch channels. We appreciate you guys. You join us each and every single week, and we really appreciate it. Without you, the show wouldn't be half as good. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for putting up with my little bit of a rant earlier as well. A bit of 100% beefalo for you guys. I know you love it. But anyway, that said, don't forget also, if you want to support TNI, if you want to support us making more content, getting out to you guys, Impact related, of course, don't forget to head over to the Spreadshirt store and, of course, ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. I actually went on there today, grabbed myself a couple of shirts. So get over there and do it yourself. Would be great, especially when I'm heading to Chicago. If some of you guys turn up with a TNI shirt on, geez, I might even buy you a beer. That would be cool. Might even buy you a beer. You never know. Anyway, with all that said, I've been Bison. He's been the Simply Steve. And of course, this has been episode 87 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
We're Bison! We